we live? Looks like it. One viewer waiting. What's up? All right. Looks like it's on, so let me share this link real quick.
Many scams, I have to change my usernames and don't ever send me money. Imposters everywhere. Richard Hart, bracket, don't ever send me money. Imposters everywhere, bracket. That's fucked up, right? And I'm out there actually making an effort trying to stop fucking scams. Everyone else is like, oh, look, that Richard, yeah, he's a scammer. Call it a scam. Nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh, yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh, no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hex Catcher. ICOs, pump and dumps, they always try to take you. Buy low, sell high, I'm tired of your fake news. You need a token, you broken, you wanna see some massive gains? Lambo, new crib, model, wife, cash and chains. Look no further at your final destination. Don't be complacent every day when you paper chasing. Choose the best, leave the rest. Stop investing like you press. The only crypto that you'll ever need is Hex. Call it a scam. Nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans. Your investments are safe, it's got defenses. A mutable contract that pays trustless interest. I don't understand why everybody is hating. Hex is capped at 3.69 inflation. Shares are like hash rate. The higher you take her, the more daily interest that gets paid to the stakers. Always do your own research, don't listen to me though. It's complete, it can't be changed. Hex is finito. Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans. The game has changed, ain't no going back now. Dummies that called Hex a scam can back down. I hope you understand, I pray that you follow me. You owe the entire Hex family an apology. And stay sober, cash out, the game's over. Hex is here for the market cap takeover. Buckle up, we about to be full throttle. With multiple auditors where we get paid to hodl. We got the game smothered, sisters and brothers, with no expectation of the work from others. It's complicated, I know that there's a lot to this. For your daily Hex updates, tune to Hexologists. Hex is like nothing that you ever been through. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the pumpamentals. If you like what you hear by now, think twice. Just remember, yo, this ain't financial advice. Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends.
All right.
We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans.
All right, got the link sent out, tweeted out, telegrammed out. Like, subscribe, share the link. That conference that Maddie Allen put on just this past week, super inspiring. So I just had to hop on. Today, I think we're going to do something pretty cool. We've done some of these in the past where we've just like built stuff live on Dip Catcher Radio. So today, I just for some reason I never just looked for the right thing, but we can actually apply the Dip Catcher algorithm that we had for Bitcoin originally. Finally, I just realized that TradingView has the price feed. So it's from Hit BTC. So the price isn't exactly what it is on Uniswap. Sometimes there are these like crazy wicks, and so that can kind of impact it, but it's still good enough. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna like right here on the air build this into the site, because right now, even though there is an option for signing up for the Hex email alert, the algorithm that I used for that one was different because I was relying on a different price feed because I didn't know that we had the right price feed on TradingView. But now that we do, the algorithm and the email alert system that I had set up using Pine. That's TradingView's like native scripting language. I'm able to use some stuff that I'd already built in the past for Bitcoin, which so far has performed 345% average ROI across all the buy signals. So I mean, obviously Bitcoin's pumping, so these are going to be high, but it really helped round out into these dips. And for a lot of the same reasons that Bitcoin is a strong coin to dollar cost average into, HEX fits a lot of those criteria. And so that's really what the dip catcher algorithm is designed for. It's not about knowing when to buy and when to sell. It's only telling you when to buy. When to sell is a very personal decision, and that's something that you're gonna have to look within to do. There's no good way to tell someone when it's a good time to sell when a coin has a history of always breaking through the highs. So selling is very risky, and it definitely depends on your personal experience and personal situation. But since HEX is something that is valuable to buy at any price, and it's something that you buy with really long time horizons. That's what the dip catcher algorithm is really meant to help you do, is just identify the days that are going to be the best on average to buy. And just, as you're working, as you're building up your nest egg, you're taking some of your earnings from outside of crypto and then putting them into things that you're going to hold on to for many years. And so HEX just kind of helps you, find good opportunities to buy. And so we're going to be just building that email alert in so that we can replace the algorithm that was kind of a fill-in algorithm because I didn't have the price feed. We're going to replace that algorithm with the one that we have, back tested, which is back tested, 345, percent, and it even beat just holding Bitcoin. So, had you just bought in every day or every week, from when the dip catcher algorithm was started till now, we outperformed that by I think 40%. I'll have to take a look, but yeah. So overall, it has performed well in Bitcoin. I think that HEX is going to follow a similar trajectory as Bitcoin, so I think it will apply there. And so today we're going to build that into the site. So we're going to do it on Anvil. I've done some shows about Anvil in the past. It's an awesome tool for building web apps. I use it for fun. I use it for work. Serving tens of thousands of customers all across the country. And it's such an awesome tool that just helps you get the job done. So for all my sites, I just go straight to Anvil because it's super easy to use, super easy to host your sites. They don't pay me. This is not I pay them. I pay them a ton of money, but it's so worth it. And so I just like to share that with people because not many people know about Anvil, but it's a super powerful tool that can really help you produce some awesome products. And so that's how we built Anvil. So you guys will get a little bit of a look into this as well, because we're just going to go ahead and just live build this feature. So I guess to start, why don't we, just while we, have just right in the beginning, let's talk a little bit about what this algorithm does, and then we'll get into building it, because the first step is going to be in here. So here, let's add a chat. Oh, what's up, Daniel? Thanks for joining us. Axis Alive, what's up, baller? How you doing? Hey, Hex fam, Value Brand, great streams lately. Keep it up. Abracadabra, thanks for being back. You're always in the chat. Awesome. Any questions? I'll be keeping an eye on this. Let me know. I'm down to answer any questions. So what is the dip catcher algorithm? So it's something that I built a couple months ago that's based on Bollinger Bands. It has a couple customizations that I included because I built it for crypto markets, and crypto markets are pretty unique. So first of all, typically when people are doing technical analysis, for some reason people always look at the closing price. They're like, oh, what's the monthly close? But in cryptos, since they trade 24/7, 365, there's no concept of close. And, because, in the traditional markets, it's open from 9 to 5, whatever the trading day is. And so the price at the close actually means something, because that's kind of a benchmark for the aftermarket trading and kind of this, all these other things. So it kind of matters. But in crypto, that's just like a random sample that just happens to take place at 0 UTC. And so, it's somewhat symbolic, but it's just a random point. It doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily helpful. So I prefer to look at the low and the high. So that's what the dip cat, what these bands are. You can even, I haven't figured out how to publish this algorithm yet, just on Tradingview. But you could add this to your own chart by just looking at the Bollinger Bands, and then setting the high, setting the source of one of them to be high, and setting the source of the other Bollinger Band to the low. And so what that does is it captures, it just captures what the range is, because that's really what matters. You care more about how high did it go and how low did it go, not what time or what was the price at 0 UTC the other day. So that's pretty much what it is. And then what the email alert system does is it has a way of analyzing what the prices were over the last couple of periods. And then that's how it tells you, that's what dictates whether this signals buy or doesn't. So if we look at it in the past, it was signaling buy down here, where the price was around 0.0035 up until price was 0.0042. So it just signals buy throughout this day. So what it does is it tells you it's a good price to buy then. The email only goes out when it's a good price. But then it also gives you a set of price targets that you could put limit orders on 1 inch exchange. They allow you to put in limit orders. And so what you could do is just on the days when the email alert comes out, it gives you a range of prices. You could just do a market order that day and then set some limit orders. And so hopefully they hit, and it'll just kind of always be running and always be telling you when it's a good time, because price went back up, so it was okay, so you can slow down on the buying, maybe save up those dollars, maybe you just got paid, the month flipped over, maybe you just got paid, it's not signaling buy yet, so maybe rather than just going all in just yet, maybe you can just wait for the dip a little bit more, and then by the time price had hit back in the 0.0036 range down all the way to 0.0024, it would be signaling buy. And so just on any one of these days you could get a good buying opportunity. It doesn't know when the bottom is. It just looks for days when price is extraordinarily low, because that's really what you never know what the price is going to do. But as long as you're in the bottom quartile of buyers, where over any 30-day period, you're in the top, or I guess bottom quartile of people that are buying, you're going to do all right, because HEX is one of these coins where it's designed for long-term hoarding, and so those things tend to go up in price over time because the time between when someone buys and when they sell is really long. Unlike coins that are made for transactions, like really fast transactions, low transaction fees, those are meant to be bought, sent, and then that person then sells them. So the time between those going up is short. So I wouldn't recommend doing this type of algorithm for coins that are more centered around fast transactions, because those have a different use case and they don't have that underlying factor of people buying them and then dying staked. So you really only want to do this for coins that you think are going to go up in the long run because people are hoarding them. This is an algorithm to help you hoard coins by just helping you just be in the lower quartile of all buyers throughout any period of time. Bull markets, bear markets, if you're constantly adding to your HEX position and then staking it and then compounding those earnings, this can be a really effective way to just, make sure you're getting in at good prices, multiplying the number of shares that you can get. And then just being there to buy the dips. Like dips only turn around when the buyers have overtaken the sellers. And no one's going to pump your bags. You got to pump your own bags. And so since Hex is one of those ones that like really kind of cultivates like a long-term commitment to the coin and commitment to the market, it's definitely one that continuing to be adding to your position, I think, is going to be smart. Just as the people who were buying Bitcoin in 2012 and they kept buying even though the price had gone up a lot from where they first started. People that take that approach to coins that have this long-term potential, that's gonna play out for you really well. And so the way that this algorithm works is that it's based on the Tradingview Alert tool. So when I have this open in my Tradingview little dashboard, I can choose Dip Catcher. What was this? Only once? Okay, no, it's only once per bar. And we need to set, I need to just increase my subscription. You have to set the expiration type. You can't have like perpetual ones. So let's see how far out we can set this. So it'll run until March 11th. I'll have to make sure to make sure I keep that going. So webhook URL. So I need to, we're going to change this one. So when we finally turn that on, we're going to generate the URL that we're going to need shortly. But here's, let's see. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at here. So this is going to give us just like all these figures, because the system saves these. But we're going to have to give it some custom, just some custom information that we're going to use. So first of all, something that I know that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to set one called pair. Actually, I'll do this all in interval. Hex 24. So what I'm doing here is I'm just giving this like little tag that I'm using. Actually, no, I know that takes it as a number. How should I do this? We're doing this live, so literally I'm just trying to figure this out, how to do this. I'm trying to just make sure I don't break the current thing. So here, I'm just going to add it to the end. So we need a field called pair, and this pair is Hex USD. Okay. So now we are creating that, and it's going to send us this email. So let's just go ahead and turn it on. So we're now that we turn that on, let's see if it's in here. Hex USD. Yep. It's going to give us all the information that it's expecting. And so that is on. So let's see. Let's figure out a way how to trigger this so we can test the response. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Anvil, and we're going to look at the email alert. Might have to go back to our, so here in the other screen, I'm gonna go ahead and find, I need to find the app that this alert is in. Might be in the admin app. So okay, so might be in this one. Hold on a sec. Stan said, I think Brian knows more about Hex than Richard Hart. I don't know about that, but I've been thinking about it, not as long. So obviously he was inventing it. But like months before it launched, I was recommending it to a friend of mine who works at he trades some. I think his industry was like fixed income products. So I think it's like debt, like corporate bonds, like I don't know, just like some type of institutional finance role. And it was pretty funny because I was telling about HEX like months before it launched. Completely just watched it, literally never bought. And it's pretty funny that like institutional investors who work in like kind of alternative, analogs like what HEX is in the real world, they sometimes just can't catch on. Hold on a sec. Where is? I think that what is run? What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find the endpoint that I used previously. So I think this must be it. So let's do this. I think that must. Let's take a look at what the endpoints were on the other ones. Let's check that. Okay, am I in the wrong? Hold on a sec, everyone. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to figure out what is the URL for the app that I'm. Because what I have is I have an app that it's the one that manages the webhook. So what I'm looking for right now is my app here. I hope I'm not. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's a blank app, so so it's not that app. Is it this one? Nope, probably not. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, so I think I found it. Here we go. Tradingview. Here it is. Send alert emails. So let's find where in the code we're doing the send alert emails. Okay. So here we go. Here's the thing that routes. Okay, I found it. So this thing was built for Bitcoin. I didn't know that I could do it at the time. So we're going to end up rewriting this function a little bit different. So first we're going to give us an endpoint. So this is going to be the HEX Catcher endpoint. For now, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna protect it because like I'm showing you all what this endpoint is. I'm gonna require some type of authentication. So while I'm doing this, no one mess me up here. So we're gonna HEX Catcher signal. Let's make a function here. So we are going to start by just getting what this is going to do is the Tradingview alert is going to hit this endpoint. It's going to hit my it's going to hit this, and then it is going to decode the contents of that alert, and then I'm going to use those to save some values in the in the Anvil table, and then I'm going to check to see what the signal says, and then if it says to buy, we're going to send out an email alert to everyone who is signed up for the HEX, the HEX email alert. So that's what we're doing here. This is just using Anvil's server request library. It's pretty useful. So we're going to get the datetime equals datetime.now. Okay, so our pair is going to be HEX USD. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get, so this stuff is unique to the Bitcoin one. So I'm not using this. So we can just ignore that. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a new signals, or like a new, just a site to track these, because that's what we like to do, back testing, because if it sucks, like I don't want to keep it on the site. So we're just going to create a new table, and it's going to be called HEX signals. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to app tables.hex signals.add row. We are going to give it, let's see, we're gonna, I don't know what the fields are going to be just yet, but we're going to give it something. So fields. So fields is going to be some dictionary that we need to create. So probably what we should first start with is we need to figure out how to make this trigger on yes. So we're going to generate some test data for ourselves right now. So let's just go ahead and print C before we add that. So we've created the HEX Catcher one, the endpoint. We're going to give it to the Tradingview HEX Catcher. Okay, so this one's going to be until, oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. Cancel. Let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to copy all of this, and we are going to make this happen whenever. So is less than, so we're just going to hit this over and over again because we need to just like see what information we're getting in. But we've got so what's something that will always hit? So we'll make it hit so long as it's less than 10 cents, we're going to run this. So let's see, just so we can see what we're getting there. So let's just save that. So this is going to run, I think, every minute. Yep, just ran. So now what we can do is we can come back to the app logs, and we can see, okay, was this today? Yep. API request routing failed, no matching endpoint. Oh, we just got to publish. here's this awesome Anvil built-in version control, super easy. So now that that's hit, we can wait again. It's like, okay, there we go. So new browser, okay, that was new browser session. That was me. So, yep. Okay, so there we go. We just successfully connected the Tradingview Pinescript alert to Anvil. And so what this is doing is it's whenever this endpoint is hit, it's reading in what it's saying, and so and this is what we got. So let's take a look at that again. So that's what it's saying. Like that. So that's what it signals. So let's see what information we have and what information we're going to need. Okay, so it's not saying open order just yet. And so this one, like just so the way it works is that if this field open order is true, it gives all of these values. So and it gives just these bands to hit, and so it pretty much tells you like what range you're in, and then it'll so but it actually only shows those when open order is true. So maybe a way that we can do this in development is if we go to something like so I think right now the price is probably dipping. Yeah. So what we can do here is just like go to a chart that we know we're probably gonna like see, like the 1 minute chart or the 3 minute chart. Maybe we're more likely to see that like an accurate response from this webhook. So why don't we try that? Let's see if this literally, I've never done this before, but we're gonna try just so we can do some development here on our app. So let's take a look at this one. So we need to give it, so anytime hex is less than 10 times the price right now, we're gonna do it every time. We're gonna hit this webhook, HEX Catcher, and we are going to run it. So hopefully we should, just looking at how the algorithm works, I think that we are going to get the signal here in just a second. So we can go ahead and turn off the one on the Hex USD on this. Let's take a look at what chart this is. Okay, so that was the first one I had set up. So that one probably just went off. Let's take a look. Okay, I hear my email alert going off, so this is definitely happening right now. Okay, new ones. Okay, so what we're trying to get here are ones that have values for these. So how can we do this? So we're pretty much waiting for this one to be on maybe the 1 minute chart, just because we're trending down today. Let's take a look. How else could we do this? Does anyone have any ideas of how to you book down? Yeah, so what they're talking about in the chat right now is that sometimes these wicks on hit BTC are kind of wonky. So I don't know, like you can't, like that's one of the problems with this algorithm on this data source is that it's based on the high and the low, and sometimes the high and the low are like nonsense, because on these centralized exchanges where it's an order book and it's not an automated market maker, it's a there's an order book and it's on an exchange that probably just uses other exchanges for their infrastructure. Like you can get situations where the wicks just are just crazy, and And since this algorithm is based on the lows, sometimes those can like make it like look all wonky, you know, so for like this duration of time, this wick just like messed up the data. So that's one of the downfalls, but what can you do? Okay, so it still hasn't gotten the full, it needs to give an accurate signal, but I guess in the meantime, what we can do is, okay, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for this to be green. So, because I don't know how else I can accurately create this test scenario, because I don't want to go in and like putz with the algorithm right now and potentially mess it up just to create this test data. Or maybe I do. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we do. Why didn't I think of that? All right, that's what we're doing. We found a solution. See, I'm just live building this. So like this is, I guess, my process. Like I just kind of, you know, move the ball forward, try to, you know, face an issue, try to solve it. So I think the solution right now is we're going to open up the source code of the algorithm, and we're going to make this so that it's always signaling buy on the hex chart. This might mess it. I hope we don't mess it up, but we just might. So is this what I want to do here? I hope this doesn't start signaling buy on the Bitcoin one, but if it does, honestly, it's kind of a good price to buy Bitcoin. And if people complain about being told to buy, you know, I think that'll be all right. So what we need is open order plot 6. So plot 6 is filled by, and so filled by is sometimes NA, so nothing, but other times is the value of lowest. So lowest is like the lowest price at any of the days. So actually what we just need to do is we just need buy condition to be true. So yeah, if buy condition, so let's find buy cond. Okay, so that's what it normally is. But for right now, we are going to make buy cond always true. So I hope this doesn't break anything. And I hope this doesn't cause it to just run, but here we are. So abracadabra, Tradingview does have the price feed from Uniswap, but it's not Tradingview the app. Like, and it does, well, so it actually just started displaying Uniswap, but it literally only shows like 3 days back. So once that one builds up the price history required to apply this, maybe I'll move it to that one to be more accurate, and I'd like to. But just for the ones that are available in the TradingView menu, the HIT BTC pair is the only one that I could find. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to set this buy con to true, and so we're going to hit save, and let's see if this. We're going to see what happens here. Hopefully this means that we are going to get an alert that we can then make use of. So let's take a look back at our app logs. New sessions. Nope, no, okay. So it must not be going. So here, we need to go back here. I hope this works. So create alert, and that's going to happen when Dip Catcher is going to be yep. Okay, so let's see here in the next 3 minutes. Here, we can just do this on the 1 minute chart because it's always going to be signaling So let's just turn on the alert on the 1 minute chart too. And dip catcher is once per bar. All right, let's hope this works. I hope this works. What we're looking for is we're trying to get the price feed, but with fields all in here. And it only shows these fields when the signal is true. So we had to go in here and pretend that it's true. So here, let's add the chart. Okay. So here we're going to clear both of these. We're going to add to the chart. You're going to save. We are going to, okay, I'm not publishing. Don't want to publish. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add this one more time. So when dip catcher 30, let's like, come on, we need to see values in here. Come on. So 1 minute chart, once per bar. Okay, just saw a new one. Still no values. Okay, let's see. Hopefully here in the next minute. Sorry if this is annoying to watch, but we're just working right through this. Got nowhere to be. This is where we got to be. So how's my sound coming out? I just got a new microphone. Stan got this for me for Christmas, and I really appreciate it. So hopefully it's even on. Someone in the chat, tell me how the audio is. Is it too loud? Does it sound good? Any feedback on that would be great. So let's see. Any recent ones? Okay. Hear it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we got more signals here. Come on. We need values. Are these running on the right algorithm? So here, let's refresh this page. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that means that we got it. Let's see. Okay, so it's not relaying, unless that's it. I just got another on my email. So let's make sure that that one's on. Hex Catcher was triggered once per bar on the 3 minute. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I think it is going now. Let's take a look. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we got that one going. So let's see which one this was, and we're going to turn off all the other alerts. So that's what we got, and that's what we're going to work with right now. So three-minute chart. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're just going to start saving these. So fields equal ** C. So I didn't give these very good names. So this is like the raw response is going to be Anvil server request get bytes. So this is going to be decoded response equals raw response dot decode. And then we're going to do JSON response, and that is going to be the JSON.loads decoded response. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get so we're passing that. So fields are going to be **C, or which has been changed to JSON response. And so we're just gonna add it. So let's see if this works. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually no, so let's say version and publish. So now we should wait a second to take a look at these. Okay, still signaling none. That means that the algorithm's not going off. Everyone dump the price so my test data is giving me the responses that I'm expecting. Dump the price. Okay, I mean, we should get some good. Probably, what does that mean? Like every couple minutes? So that one gave me stuff. Let's edit that alert once per bar. Okay, we're gonna edit that so we can. So let's go ahead and add one. We're gonna add pair. Hex USD. Let's see if these are adding to the table. Okay, so these are still giving me the blank ones. Okay, it's fine. Okay, there we go. So now we are saving the contents of this to our data table. So now we have something to work with here. Okay. So what we've got the price at the open, upper low, the name of the pair, bottom low, lower high, close, high, bottom high, low, 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 open order. So that tells you what the actual like order is, and then the number, or the upper high, and then the interval. So that we can come to next. So what we got to do, so we've got everything saved, so that's good. And then now we are going to so let's just build the function that we're going to use to analyze alert, and it's going to give us how should we do this? We're going to give it some type of ID. So something we're going to add to fields is going to be some type of like alert ID. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just generate a random hexadecimal code. So let's just add something like this. So hex number is a string. Let's just give it this alert. So fields alert ID is going to be this alert ID. Okay. So now let's go ahead and save this so that the next one that we get is now showing an alert ID. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to just analyze the alert. So just to start, we're doing this in like kind of like live debug mode. So we're just going to print whatever analyze alert tells us. So analyze alert is going to be a function of this alert ID. And what we're going to do is, so we're going to return something. So we're going to go app table. So alert. So the alert that we're going to be talking about equals app tables dot hex signals dot get. We're going to get that where the alert ID equals alert ID. So let's see if any of our new alerts have the information that we're looking for. So yeah, so these are starting to get this alert ID. We're going to be searching for ones with the alert ID, and that's how we're going to know which one we're talking about. So we're going to just print the alert. So we're going to print the dict of the alert, and that'll be so we'll make response equals dict alert, and we're just going to return that. That's not what we're going to return forever, but we're just going to see if we have all the information that we need to continue forward. So we're just checking to make sure that our thing that saves them to our data table is working, because that's how we're going to calculate the numbers. Okay, so published. Let's go back to the app logs. Last one was 1756, so we'll probably get, it's probably the next one that we see will. That is if price keeps going down. Like we're kind of at the, it's kind of funny. Our test data is literally like at the whim of, okay, there we go. Okay, so it's still working. So this one isn't, okay, it is showing the pair. And okay, so there we go. That's how we know that it's the data table that we created. So we found the pair, so pair was something that we're passing from Tradingview. All these numbers we're passing from Tradingview. Alert ID we generated in that function, and so now we've got all the data that we need. So what we're gonna do now is let's take a look at this so we're gonna do some analysis to see when we want to actually put this on, because Hex is one of those coins that, like, you know, when it's running, you know, you kind of want to be pretty aggressive, because, like, say for instance, like if you were only buying let's see, let me hide all this. If you're only buying Hex on the, let's say, like on the daily chart, you know, this one only goes off like under pretty rare circumstances. Like price has to be really low, and when price is in an uptrend, it may never actually get back down there, or you may miss some awesome dips just because you weren't being aggressive enough. So maybe what we should decide here is how aggressive do we want this to be? You know, because, you know, when you look at it on different time frames, it kind of paints a different story. So this one is, I think there's some bug in this. I mean, other than just it being, you know, like the data is incomplete here, so the algorithm like just kind of messes up. But what we can do here, like, you know, I guess, so we can't look at a week because we don't have enough data. But like on the 4-hour chart, the last time, or on the daily chart, the last time this was signaling buy was here in this, like, you know, 36 to 46 millidollar range. If we look at that on just the 4-hour chart, you know, the last time it signaled buy was just a couple hours ago, and it signaled buy at, you know, 0.005, and then it rounded out the same dip that the daily chart got. The daily chart got this dip, but this one just got it more aggressively. And so the higher the time frame, the sooner that it starts signaling buy during a dip. So what we're looking at here is like on this more aggressive 4-hour interval, it's signaling buy, but it signaled buy at 0.086. That was the first like signal, and then price continued to go down like another like 50% or more. So whereas on the daily chart, on that same dip, it didn't start signaling on the daily chart until down here. So there's kind of two ways to approach this. Like the one on the 4-hour chart is going to start saying buy earlier, and that will bite you in the butt, or you might lose some opportunity cost if you're buying before the dip is fully done, which it doesn't do. Like, it doesn't tell you when the dip is done. It just tells you when is the next level down. And so in a strong uptrend, you want to be catching these dips that you might on the 4-hour chart, but during a downtrend, it could have you buying a dip that keeps on dipping. But luckily, like, the good thing about HEX is that with the stake, you can actually make up for buying high or higher than you otherwise could have. You could be, you could be buying, and then the price keeps dipping. But if the HEX that you bought when the price was higher than it ultimately became, if you just tack that onto the end of your staking ladder, the interest in the last couple of days will, make up for you not being able, being able to get 40% as many coins per dollar. And so just like adding that to the end of your stake, once it kind of plays out, where your, what happened after your buy orders get hit. If price kept dipping, just, tack that on to the end. Whereas say you bought, you bought and it was the bottom, because whatever the bottom is, it'll still catch, but it just might start signaling sooner. Then whatever you bought on the bottom, maybe you can keep that liquid, or maybe you can add that to the shorter part of your stake, because you're already getting the price appreciation from catching that bottom, being what made the bottom. So maybe that one's a good one where, you want to have that on maybe like a shorter term staking ladder, where, maybe money that you want to keep liquid just in case you want to spend or, invest in something else. You want to have some money, and it's better to have, have money that you bought really low be, your, if you're going to spend money, you might as well spend that. And so, it just gives you options. Everyone's got their own lifestyle and their own situation. So I like to, to kind of, give advice on how to approach the long-term stakes and also the short-term stakes. And so that's kind of what you can, how you can approach this 4-hour chart in order to, kind of just give you options. So this will definitely be a lot more aggressive, but that can generally play out pretty well. If HEX continues on the strong uptrend that it's on, that might be a good situation. So I think we're going to really base it around this 4-hour interval, but we're going to also keep the 24-hour one. So maybe what we'll do is we'll have it send out the email alert on the 4-hour one and the 24-hour one, and then based on what interval that it is, it'll have different email contents. So maybe on the shorter one, it'll say, this is a more aggressive one, buy here, but prepare to stake it out longer. And so we'll do a little bit of customization there. So let's see. So we got that. Let's take a look at the okay. So here with this, for this example, what we're gonna do is, so if fields interval is 24, we're going to do, so here we're going to send Hex Alert, and we're going to give that fields interval. So if it is that, and the other thing we need to make sure is, and open order is, so fields open order is not none. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to do a send hex alert. So actually all we need is we'll do this and we'll handle the routing in this send hex alert function. So if it tells it there's an open order, meaning it's signaling green, like on this chart, it'll be green. Oh, nice, we're dipping. We're gonna get one on air. Let's get this live so we can. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. So see how much time we have left. So we've got an hour and 54 minutes to get this, because I think on this next bar it may go live. So let's try to hurry up. Abracadabra suggests doing the 6-hour or 12-hour alert. How do I do that? Let's see. Oh, you can do custom. There we go. What? Okay. Interesting. We could even have custom alerts. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so you see on the 6-hour one isn't starting to signal buy. Last time it signaled buy was down in the 0.0035 range. So, less aggressive. But if we look at the 4-hour one, it signaled buy last time at like 0.0049. So, it's just the trade-off, right? If you're more comfortable catching a dip that keeps dipping, maybe I'll have to set up one for that use case. But for the less aggressive dip, like say on the daily chart, like on the daily chart, it's probably like, just because I know how this algorithm works, price needs to be like way below here. So price needs to go back to like the 0.006 to 0.005 range for the daily chart to start signaling. So that's going to be like way, way, way less aggressive. So it's just kind of a trade-off. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to see how it plays out. Yeah, because like even on the Bitcoin one, it hasn't triggered since like October on the daily. But then on the 4-hour chart, it triggered at like 1,800 or 18,000. That was the last time the Bitcoin one that triggered. And so, the people buying this dip, they're sitting pretty well, but you also have to sit through like entire months without it signaling buy, which may be all right for you. So it just kind of depends what your preference is. And so what we're going to take a look at is, so what I want to do is I want to set this up here. So, because I think this is going to go off, but it's also going to be a little bit more selective. So why don't we just make that trade-off? And I think maybe we'll just do the 6-hour one. Good idea, Abracadabra. Well, that's probably the one that we'll set it up for. So what we need to do is we need to go here. So we'll do a 6-hour one, a 4-hour one, and a 24, I think. So interval. So if interval equals 4, this one is going to be hyper aggressive. So most aggressive. If interval equals 6, this one is going to be aggressive. If interval equals 24. That's going to be less aggressive. So, but we'll turn it on for all of them. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have different content for these. So maybe we'll get to the content later. So if interval is 4, we're going to do the send. So contents equals app tables dot, let's do email templates dot get name equals 4. So so this can be 4 hex. So 4-hour hex. If interval, so we can just do this. Name. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to go to the email templates and we need to create a couple of email contents. So what did we say? 4-hour hex, 6-hour hex, 24-hour hex. And then I also like to go to this HTML live editor. Let's see, we're just going to put some HTML online editor. If someone wants to, I would love if someone helped me make like a good, so this usually should give a, let's see if I do quick tour. Okay. Okay, maybe this is taking a little bit to load. I just use this tool to generate, here we go. So let's just get rid of all this. So dip catch the hex dip current price so it's going to be close. So we're going to do some limit order targets. Order 1. So we'll let's see, order 2, order 3. Okay, so we'll just give it a couple of these. And then what else? I'm actually just going to use this. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Okay, so we're just going to do that. So maybe what we'll do is just we'll add a variable in this email so that depending on the interval, that's what it'll tell us. So for this one, so catch the hex dip. So this is going to be risk level. Let's see, people didn't really respond well. Like when I said risk level on the old Bitcoin one, it said like low risk, medium risk, high risk. High risk was the 4-hour chart. Low risk was the weekly chart. People didn't really get that. So maybe like sensitivity level? No. What do you think? Does anyone have any ideas for how we should describe in the email that, like, just give it the different like ranking, where the running on the 4-hour interval is going to be more aggressive, more buying, but you could potentially catch the dip that keeps on dipping, whereas the high, like the daily chart one is less aggressive, and you're not going to catch as many dips, but the dips that you do catch are going to be a lot juicier. So maybe like, what should we call this? Does anyone have any ideas? Someone in the chat, let me know if you have any ideas for this. We're just going to call it the interval. So and then we're going to do interval. So I don't know if this is good design. I don't really care. So down here, why don't we just say what the interval is? So the interval determines how risky the buy signal is. Smaller intervals will signal buy earlier in a dip than the larger intervals. For example, if the algorithm is looking at the 4-hour chart, it will start signaling buy higher than if the algorithm is looking at the 24-hour chart. The shorter interval is better during strong uptrends, and the 24-hour and the larger interval is good for large investments. Larger, less frequent investments. The shorter interval is better for regularly buying during strong uptrends, and the larger interval is good for the longer interval. The longer interval is good for larger, less frequent investments. That's probably a good way to describe it. Like if you're using the daily interval, you're only catching these like mega bottoms, but like here's what the risk is. Say the price of HEX doesn't break this green line. It pretty much has to break this green line. There's some other criteria, but overall, if it breaks the green line, it's going to signal. So if instead, like it, maybe got down to like 0.8, 0.008, and then just like continued on its run before it's like next, like say it did something like this, from where it's at, like, and it never got in here, there could be like maybe a generational bottom that you're just not catching because your strategy wasn't aggressive enough. So if you're basing it on the like say price hit right here and then continued on like that, which is totally in the realm of what is possible, like easy, you could be missing out on like a 500% gain, 450% gain, because you're like if you're on this like longer interval, it just might never get that low, in order for the algorithm to signal buy on this longer interval. So like on the daily chart, the price needs to get somewhere like down here. Price needs to spend entire days underneath this green line is pretty much what's got to happen. So price has got to get like way down here, which may never happen. There's no way to predict it. But so if price doesn't reach that level, you may never buy. And, that could suck because, then is like, it kind of goes through like its next market cycle. If it continued to do something like this, let's see, what's a different. So like say the price did, like it booms up through here and then starts consolidating up in this level. Price may need to do something like this before it starts signaling again. And so you may not be able to, to buy in at during like one of like the dip catcher dips, maybe until like a full another one of like, a cycle that looks kind of like this. Like something like that where price went up a lot, then it had to come way back down and you missed that whole move. You may be waiting, for price to be much higher because you were waiting for it to get down here, but it never did. So maybe the next time that it ever signals buy is like up here, like up, kind of where we're at now, honestly, like a little bit higher than where we're now. That could totally be the reality of what happens if you are waiting for this like less sensitive algorithm. So that's kind of the trade-off. So I think to start, what we're going to do here is we're just going to add all the algorithms. So 4 hour, actually no, what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 hour and 24 hour to start, and then we may do 6 hour as we might add that one. Actually no, we'll do all of them, but then they're all going to have just like the same email contents. And then maybe later I'll have to see how the cadence is, because what could suck is like if you're getting the 4 hour one, the 6 hour one, and the 24 hour one, you'll probably be getting the 4 hour one and the 6 hour one on the same days. So if 6 hour one is running at like midnight, 6, noon, 6, then you're going to be getting 4 emails a day from that one. And if the 4 hour one's running at the same time, you're also getting 4 a.m., 8, another one at noon, 4, 8, another one at midnight. So like on days where they're both running, which they probably will because they're going to be pretty similar, it's going to be blowing your phone up, which might be good but could get annoying and maybe unnecessary. So that's kind of the risk of having the ones that are too close, is that it just could be blowing up their phone all day. So why don't we just do 6 and 24? That sounds good. A quarter of a day and a day, that works for me. Hopefully it works for you guys, and we'll just see how it plays out. We'll don't need to put too much thought into it. We can just see how it works, and if it's got to be changed, then we'll change it. So this one will be either 24. So we're gonna do 6 hour. Yeah. Okay. So that's just like a little note. So let's maybe adjust the size. Let's make that not bold. Italic. Formats. Let's make that smaller. How do we change the font size? How do we do this? Someone help. Whatever. Fuck it. We'll change it later. So we got that, and so we actually don't need to pass it in like that. We can just we'll just do HEX Dip Catcher. That'll be the name of this one, and we'll just paste the HTML in there. And so what we need to keep in mind is that we have how many of these template brackets? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's what we'll do. Okay, so go back here. So we need to get the, what do we call it? We call the name is going to be HEX Dip Catcher. And so what we got to do here is make so the contents is going to be the contents. And we need to format it with our 4 things right here. So the interval, and then the good price, great price, excellent price. So good price is going to be higher than what the current price is because it wouldn't be telling you to buy unless it was a good price. Great price is going to be halfway between, you know, there's okay, so excellent price is like 2 standard deviations below. And then, so, you know, it's pretty much like the bottom of this like band on the algorithm. So we'll use like the, I think we'll decide which one we want to use here. We can use either the purple line or the blue line. And then the good price is going to be somewhere in between there. So that's what it's going to tell you to place the order. Oh, no, actually, so I think, no. Good price is going to be below the green line. Excellent price is going to be the like blue one. Good price or great price is going to be the blue dot that you see here. So it's based on like what the low was over like a shorter time frame in the past. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So let's go back to our Anvil thing. So we need interval. Okay, so we've got interval. So good price equals. So we're just actually going to pass it the whole field. Okay, so we're actually going to get so alert equals the signal, and we're going to send hex alert based on the alert contents. So this one is actually alert. So good price equals alert interval. So here, let's use the autocomplete. So we're going to do alert equals app tables dot hex signals dot get. We don't need to fill this in because we're going to erase this because we're just using this for the autocomplete. So we want to catch the interval, so interval equals interval. Good price equals alert. So let's see. This goes off at the end of a bar. So when it's going off, the current price is actually the close. So let's just to make this a little bit more easier. So current price equals close. And that's going to be that's going to be good price. So current price, so then great price equals alert open order. Excellent price equals alert lower low, or okay, lower high, upper low. Okay, we're gonna do upper low. We're gonna make it a little bit more aggressive because sometimes like that Bollinger Band can just be so low it's stupid. So that's what we're gonna do. So interval current price. So interval current price, great price, excellent price. Okay, so we've got that. Oh my God, you know where I forgot to share this? I forgot to share this on the Anvil forum. Whatever. Okay, so we're going to do app tables. Oh, no, so if we're sending this alert, now we just got to send the email. So let's do anvil.email.send to equals, we'll do it, so social@dipcatcher.com. It's my streaming email. Email that, say what's up, probably won't reply. Text equals contents. HTML equals contents. So we don't even need to do the routing. We're just gonna do that. So it makes it much simpler. Okay, so subject, catch the hex dip. Okay, so see what other fields. No attachments. Maybe I think it could be cool to have like some images to go along with these. Maybe we'll do that on another day. So record equals record anvil.email. Okay, so that gives us a record ID. So maybe what we want to do, I usually keep a log of how many I send out, but so here we're just going to test this. So they're going to send the Hex Alert. So first, what we need to do is we're going to recipients equals app tables dot hex email list dot search. Okay, just everyone. So for recipient in recipients, we're going to do 2 equals recipient, their email. Okay, so what can we do here? So we're just gonna actually just save a record of this, so just so we can keep good track of this. Hex signals. We're gonna add a recipients column to the hex signals page. We're going to do that as a simple object. Recipients. Okay. And I don't really care about I don't know what I can do with the message ID, so I don't really need to save it. But received. So here we're just going to do sent to equals blank list. We're going to try to send it. If it fails for whatever reason, such as like, I don't know, something wrong with how they typed in their message, it would just carry on. So we're going to do sent to.append recipient email. Okay, so now once that's done, we're going to do so alert.update recipients equals sent to. So we're just going to give it a list of all the emails, and we're just going to save that to our thing. So so this is actually going to run as a background task because it could take longer than the allotted like time that I have on my Anvil account. So Anvil, that's what's great about Anvil is these background tasks. Okay, so anvil.server.launch background task, send hex alert. There we go. Okay, so in development right now, I'm just, rather than doing that, or okay, so we get rid of that. Rather than recipients being all the people in the email list, we're just going to make myself the sole recipient, just so we can test it. Okay. It's expecting some type of so recipient is actually so email. It's expecting it to be like that. But that's kind of what it's like when it's saved in the data table. So let's see if that works. Okay, so let's see how this works out. I'm just going to publish it and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so let's see when the last, oh my god, we've got so many while we're on. So let's just take a look at the alerts. Okay, I'm actually gonna go to see if these are coming in. Okay, we got a live caller on the air right now. Let's see what.
Hey.
You are live on Dip Catcher Radio. Thanks for calling in. Caller, what's your name and where you're from?
Are you joking?
You're live right now, so mind your vocabulary.
Okay, hi. I'm walking Sasha, so I can't really talk.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll be done here in a little bit.
Okay.
Check it out. YouTube, dipcatcher.com has a link. Check it out while you're walking. I'll see you later. We're doing some coding. Bye. That was Maria. Some of you know Maria. So I don't see my alert coming out. Let's see what's going on here. It's probably some bug. That's usually the case. Yep. Send hex alert, missing one required positional argument. Alert. Okay, duh. That's what's great about Anvil is everything is just right there, so that when you find an error in your app logs, it literally just like takes you right there in the IDE. So you literally just like, oh, boom, boom. It's fixed. Okay, let's check it out. I have my email, the one that I have connected here. Hey, there we go. All right, so we've got the connection. Second try, we had to check. Okay, so what do we think here? Okay, so the formatting is kind of fucked up. Just says interval, doesn't look very good. Good price, under 1 cent. So that must be the current price. So let's take a look at the chart while we look at this. So that is running on like the 3-minute chart. So So it's doing something like this. So that, yeah, I mean, that is the price. So we are in a good dip. Like, people want it. Like, penny is that kind of shelling point in HEX, because for a couple reasons. When one, just like the psychological, like, penny mark, that's just like something big for the market to need to, get over, psychologically. But two, when we look back at the big payday dump, so as you remember, on big payday, the supply abruptly increased. So November 19th, the supply went much larger than what it was. So it dumped from about the price right before November 19th. I don't know what the time zone is, but say from like there to there, price dumped like 62%, just as the market was adjusting to the the new supply of HEX. A penny is, the supply increased by about like 30 to 40%, and so about 40% was how much the supply increased. It's spread out over the next 15 years. We've talked about that on this channel before. But so like the market's like new reality. It's kind of like a stock split, where on average each HEX, it's almost like it was like redenominated, because like everyone's got this bonus, like per dollar put in, they got a certain amount of HEX. Now they suddenly have more. Kind of like a stock split, where you start with one share of Tesla, stock split happens, now you have two. So the price goes down, but then like the market cap stays the same, and now everyone just has more. So it's just like it was kind of like a stock split. And I think it was about 40% of the supply was increased. So that penny range for HEX is actually pretty important, because that was the price at that point in time. So, 1 penny was like kind of like what the effective price was, considering the split. And so getting over that, because that was like, it's just another shelling point. Like the market, like leading up to this increase in supply, put the price at that level. So it is important. The market remembers that. And so that 40% increase is right around a penny. And so like, I think a penny is a pretty historic price in HEX. So, it's dipping down there. On the daily chart, it's not signaling, but I think we will be getting it here on the 6-hour chart, maybe on this next candle, here in about 3 hours from now. We just I mean, depending on how it goes, maybe we'll do the 4-hour chart. I mean, I guess we'll do it for all of them. So, let's make sure, let's go in and let's do some reformatting. So we got our first dip right here, or our dip alert. That looks so janky. Okay, my grammar's all messed up. So why don't we go and we'll edit our email and do some formatting. The short interval is better for regularly buying during strong uptrends, while the long interval is better for larger, less frequent investments. Okay. So let's just see what this is. Kind of like a heading, so it's heading to, so maybe we don't need that star. So it's looking at the 4-hour, should we call it the 4-hour chart or the 4-hour, so here, let's call it the algorithm interval. The algorithm interval. Good price under that. Okay, so something else I noticed in the formatting that was kind of wonky is all these decimals. So why don't we what can we do here? So we only want 1, 2, 3, 4 decimals. So we need to tell our formatting thing to do that. So let's just Google Python round to 4 decimal places. Probably going to be like format something. Oh, I like format better. Limit floats to 2 decimal points. Yeah, here we go. So it's going to be something like that. So we are going to current price, where the formatting is the alert close. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's all we got to do. Okay, so we're doing the dollar signs there, so we can just leave it as is. Okay, so if you guys want to test this out, so anyone in the chat, go to dipcatcher.com and sign up for the Hex Alert right now. And then I'll go ahead and send this test message out, and we're gonna see if it works. So anyone who's listening right now, just go ahead and sign up, and then I will send this to all of us. So I'll give you a couple minutes to do that if you're online. I just put the link in the chat. Go ahead and message here if you have, and I'll do this. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, okay, the formatting's a little better. That's pretty good. Let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, now actually we need to copy this all. All right, we're going to try to wrap this up here in just a couple of minutes because I'm hungry, but we got to get this right. Okay, so got that right. Now let's just do the okay, so I just published, and now what we're going to do is we're going to wait for more of these test emails to come in. It's probably blown up this. Yep. Yeah, 11 so far. 9 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. Okay, so in the meantime, why don't we come back to Tradingview, and we are going to take a look at our active alerts here. So that one shows interval, doesn't show pair. Right? That one shows interval and doesn't show pair. That one shows pair. So which ones are actually going through? That's the question. Okay, so I'm just actually going to shut off all the hex ones and I'm going to re-add but let me make sure I got the right. Yeah. Okay, so this one's running every time and it's giving. Okay, so I think this is the one we want to keep. So we're just going to get rid of some of these others. So here, the interval is, I'm just going to change this one so that it just is a sanity check to make sure it's working. So let's just say 3 so we know which one we're going to be seeing. That should be going every minute, so we should see that in our app logs every minute. I just got another trigger. Yeah, so that's the one that we're getting. So let's take a look at this one again. So that happens every time. Okay, so it's not sending the email because it is. Okay, so I think this is the one that we actually wanted to. All right. What interval were these on? Let's see, because that one doesn't show the pair. Let's see here. So I can just look at this one. So interval 3, that one just went off, but it didn't show values. We need to be looking at the ones that show the values. So that is. Okay, that one shows the values. So it's one of the 4-minute interval ones. It doesn't show the. Okay, so we'll set up both of these so that they show the pair. So I don't know which one is which. Okay, so we're just waiting to get another email alert so we know that our one is looking good. So still getting nones. So that one should have made it go off at 50. So that was 3 minutes ago. We probably published after that. Let's see when the last time we published. Oh yeah, so let's just make sure that we're on our current version. Yep, there we go. So we should have got another email. Come on. Oh wait, no, it's not going to give me one because it didn't have a. Ay. Come on, test data. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense why the 3-minute one isn't giving a signal. Let's look at the 1-minute chart. All right. This is annoying. I wanted it to be okay. Well, we can just count on that working. I don't think we necessarily need to wait, or maybe while we're publishing it, we will see what we're expecting. So what we need to do here is we're gonna just go ahead and copy this, and we're gonna set this up on the we're just going to set it up on the chart that we do care about. So we're going to do the 6-hour chart, which it'll probably signal by sometime soon. So we are going to add an alert, and it's going to be on Dip Catcher, and it's going to be once per bar, and that is going to be so the Hex Catcher, that's right. Interval 4, so the interval is actually 6. So let's just paste. So we have the hex ID, the hex pair ID. The interval is going to be 6, and we're going to run that, and it's going to run until February 11th. I can't do the open-ended without trying to get me to upgrade. So someone remind me on the 11th of March, and we're not going to send email. We're just going to hit the webhook. So we shall hit publish, and that now works. Now let's do that again for the 24-hour chart. Okay, so alert this one is going to be Hex USD. This time the interval is 24 hours. We need that to show Dip Catcher once per bar. Make sure we're hitting the endpoint. Create. Okay, there we go. We now have on the daily chart and the 6-hour chart, we have the Hex Dip Catcher algorithm now on. So what we got to do now is go here, go back to the thing that routes the emails, and okay, so if the alert is that, we're going to run the send hex alert. And now recipients are not that. The recipients are the Hex email list. So go ahead and sign up on the Hex email list. You can do that right here at dipcatcher.com. So just sign up here, make sure the hex box is ticked. That'll take you to, that'll sign you up for this. And so now, if you're on there, you'll get this email, and that should do it. Let's see if that's gonna work. So let's just go back over our code. So I'm getting these email alerts right now, so it must be working. So Hex Catcher, let's just clean up our code a little bit, make sure that we're all on the same page. So we don't need to print this anymore. We know what's going on. So did we even do analyze alert anymore? Let's see if we used it after all. Nope, so we can actually just get rid of this because we kind of already took care of that somewhere else. So here in about 30 lines of code, we were able to build a automated Hex catch the dip email alert, all in Python, all on Anvil, and once we hit publish, this should be live. So before we hit publish, we're going to turn off these annoying minute ones. Those are just for test. So turn that off. Turn it off. Turn off the 3-minute ones too. 3-minute ones too. Yep. So our daily and hourly ones are active. So I'm actually going to turn these off too, but because I'm going to make sure that these are not running on that change that I'd made to the algorithm. So I'm actually going to cancel all of them just so we can for sure know. So let's turn off the alerts. And now let's open up the Pine editor again. So we need to look at the source code for this one. We are going to find buy condition. Okay, so this one already is the thing that I had saved hadn't even taken effect. Looks like it. So we're going to save that. We're going to add it to the chart. Get rid of the first one. So we know for sure that the okay, so I think that must mean that it's saved correctly. So let's just go ahead and set up, let's just make sure. So buy condition is that. Buy cond right there. Okay, so let's do it. So we're gonna save that, add the chart, just to be safe, because I don't want to publish the wrong one. So it looks like that's good. Now we are going to do alerts. So let's just refresh this, just so we're for sure publishing the most up-to-date version of this. Oh yeah, this alert notifications, those were a couple minutes ago. Looks right. You already know what's going on. So now we're going to turn on this alert, dip catcher, once per bar on the daily chart. So this is going to be the 24-hour interval. We're going to hit the HEX Catcher endpoint, and we're going to run this until March 11th, as long as it'll let me create that. Now we're going to go to the 6-hour chart per Abracadabra's recommendation, and we are going to do another alert here. So 6-hour chart. Oh shoot, did I set the date? Yep. Goes to the March 11th. Let's check this one too. March 11th, once per bar, webhook. It's there, interval and pair. Interval, pair. All right. These are live. They're active. So let's do it. Go to dipcatcher.com, sign up for this. Looks like it's going to be going off here in the next couple days. If price continues to dip down, we should expect to see the buy alert somewhere in this range under this green line. Yeah, go ahead and sign up. Dipcatcher.com. If you're there, you'll be added to the HEX email alerts, and happy dip catching, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I try to go back and answer. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is, let's just open it. This is my Twitter account, Tanto Nomini. Let's take so we are now, new Hex Dip Catcher algorithm now live. Sign up at dipcatcher.com to know when it is a good time to buy Hex. All right. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for the people that watched all the way through. That was kind of long, and it was kind of hard to follow along with unless you kind of know Anvil. But it just helps me just kind of get stuff done when, kind of talking it out in this fashion. So thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back soon. Let me know what you think. Follow the channel, follow the Twitter. Sign up for the email alerts, and until next time, thanks for joining us. Take care.